Shell craters more than a meter deep can be found in the streets of Lysychansk. Here is a monument to volunteer heroes, and next to it is such a meter-long pit. Today, Lysychansk is a city of contrasts. There are areas here that are relatively calm. There are shops with people getting in a line and children walking on the streets. But on the outskirts of the city, people have to stay near shelters because Russian troops are constantly firing at residential buildings. This is what the crater looks like after the Russian Tochka-U tactical ballistic missile system hit the residential sector of Lysychansk. There is a crater of 4 by 5 meters. Missile destroyed 4 garages at once and scared about 100 people living around. The garage of Viktor Trofimovich is located just opposite the place where Tochka-U hit. The building is riddled with scattered shrapnel in several places. At the time of the shelling, the man and his wife were hiding in the basement of their house.
These are the projectiles coming in. Stones flew from everywhere and beat everything around them. This building was hit in 3 places. I should have covered it with slate. They started shelling our house. We hid in the basement. A lot of dust rose up in the basement after the explosion. My wife, who can barely walk, was afraid that we could be blocked by the foundation. But I assured her that our foundation of the house was very strong.
In his garage, Viktor Trofimovich is trying to distract himself from the constant shelling. He says that now every day could be his last.
Today I went to get water. They pumped water there. Someone drilled a well. And here we are. There are a lot of people. We are waiting for water. There is a queue. And their explosions go on and on, closer and closer. Well, now I'm thinking they'll hit us. There were 20 people there. They'll hit us, and that's it. And that's the end. Here are the sins. My wife is sick. I need medicine. There are no medicines. Nothing.
The houses destroyed by the airstrikes stand nearby. You can see the consequences of the air raids of Russian occupation forces. 3 floors in a 5-story building have collapsed, and these were previously someone's apartments. Someone's property today lies just like that, on the pavement, carpets, a little further, hats, clothes. As a matter of fact, this is all that remains of what people have been accumulating for many, many years before. Many local residents left the city, and those who remained are very frightened, hiding in basements and trying not to go far from their shelters.
Well, if you are sitting in a basement, isn't it scary? It's scary. Water, light and gas have long gone. For 2 months already.
How often do we go down to the basements? We don't leave them. I'm running there right now.
Right now, behind my back, you can see how the residential building is on fire, which was targeted by the Russian occupiers. This house is located in Lysychansk in the residential sector, and today the invaders are massively shelling residential areas of the city. And here is what remains of entire enterprises after the bombing by Russian troops. This is one of the enterprises in Lysychansk, and you can see how it burned to the ground. Lysychansk is called the cradle of Donbass. The first industrial enterprises of this region were founded here. As in Donetsk, so in Luhansk, the industry in Lysychansk was founded by foreigners. Thanks to the Belgian process engineer Ernest Solvay, a powerful soda plant and then the infrastructure appeared in the city. This is the building of the Lyceum built by the Belgians. The institution entered the top 100 throughout Ukraine. The Lyceum survived a lot, but could not survive the shelling of the Russian invaders. Behind me, we can see one of the classrooms of this Lyceum and what the occupiers did with it. The building was built at the end of the 19th century, and it was part of the ensemble of the Belgian architectural heritage of Lysychansk. Graduates of the Lysychansk multidisciplinary gymnasium have always passed external independent assessments with high rates and entered the best universities in the country, says Artem. His children studied here and then entered Kiev universities.
My daughter and son studied here. Thanks to the gymnasium, she was accepted to study on a state-financed basis. They gave good knowledge here, and now it's gone. It was burning during the day. Well, and then the night after that. That came out on the second day, and it was still burning. Of course, it's a pity. It's our homeland. This is all a ruin.
In total, the Belgians at one time built 33 objects. The neighboring building also suffered at the hands of the Russians. A few months ago, the authorities of the Lysychansk Regional State Administration were thinking about how to restore the Belgian heritage. They wanted to place a hub here and give the local population and youth the opportunity to develop and spend their leisure time here. Today we can see how the Russian occupiers smashed the Belgian legacy and the building was completely destroyed. Lysychansk is very important for the Russian military as a strategic height. The settlement is located on a hill. Severodonetsk is clearly visible from it and Rubizhne is behind it. Therefore, the enemy troops will continue to fire and destroy the civilian population of Lysychansk. That's what happened in 2014 when the Russian invaders heavily destroyed the city. This is what is happening now. Behind Lysychansk is the so-called Road of Life to Bakhmut. This is the only route through which humanitarian aid is delivered to the region and the civilian population is evacuated. A few days ago, the enemy began shelling this route, wanting to create a humanitarian catastrophe in Ukrainian cities. But at this time, the armed forces of Ukraine are conducting a cleanup operation in Bilogorivka. And according to the head of the region, Serhiy Haidai, there are very few invaders still left near the city. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Anastasia Volkova, UATV News.